Are you looking for true personal freedom? The freedom to design a life you truly desire? Then you're absolutely in the right place. True personal freedom comes from when you take 100% responsibility and control of your money and your mind. Here you're going to learn ideas, tips, and wisdom that's going to help you bridge the gap from where you are now to your dream life in the future. My name is Randy Wilson, and welcome to the Rich Mind Podcast. Hello, and welcome back to the Rich Mind Podcast. And today, let's talk about business. Let's talk about businesses, starting businesses, what, in my opinion, the different types of businesses, and let's just give you some insight as far as maybe you can figure out from this podcast, maybe some action that you want to take moving forward to possibly get in business for yourself, right? That's kind of the idea. So as you've heard, or if you haven't heard from a previous episode of mine, I talk about the wealth formula. And the wealth formula was given to me or presented to me for the first time by Robert Kiyosaki on stage in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, several years ago. And that wealth formula is that the wealthy people, rich people, they focus on building businesses, right? That's step one. They build businesses that cash flow. They use the proceeds and cash flow from those businesses to purchase assets, cash flow producing assets. And then from the cash flow from the assets supports their lifestyle. So today, let's talk about that first step. Let's talk about business. And I was on a phone call with a mentor of mine, and we were discussing like different levels of business. And he described to me 3 different levels, and it really resonated with me. And I want to talk about that here today with you. And let's start with, and just kind of put them in categories, like from complex down to the most simple, easy way to get started in business. And then I'll give you some examples of some of the things that I've done in my life to create several businesses, right? Some successful, some not. And that's just kind of part of the game. But let's start with the most complex. And the most complex business to start is literally starting something from scratch. So you're going to take an idea or a concept or a product that does not have much proven track record in the marketplace, and you're going to bootstrap that idea into creation. And from that creation, you're going to begin and put in the processes, put in the systems, build your team. You're going to source product. You're going to a lot. So the idea, I can't even begin to list all of the things that would be required or that is required to start a business from scratch. So the big payoff is that if you can get one to work, like if you can start something from scratch and get something to work that is completely original, or at least has a different spin on it, the payoff could be huge, right? It might take you several years to get to that point, and it might take a lot of resources to get to that point. But if you can do that, then the idea is that you potentially could have a large payday at the end of that journey. Now, that, as I mentioned, was going to be probably the most difficult way, but it's definitely possible. There's a lot of people that do it all the time. You can think of Amazon, right? Amazon was totally unique to the marketplace back in the late 90s, early 2000s, when Jeff Bezos brought buying and selling items online, right? He might not have been the original creator of that, but he put the processes and systems that created the business that we enjoy today. Apple would be another company that took an item that there were some in existence, but they made them better and improved upon them to the point where how many of us could live our day-to-day activities without a cell phone or even a computer, and which is exactly kind of what I'm using right now, right? Have it not been for those folks and those creations, we would not be enjoying the lifestyle that we do today. So going down from complex to a little bit less complex is to find people, find processes, find systems that are already in place, and then to piggyback some items and use their platforms to sell your products. And so what do I mean by that? You can, a franchise is a perfect example of kind of the next level down. So usually, typically, a franchise owner is going to have the processes, going to have the systems in place. They've already done a lot of the testing. They have just a lot of the key items that you're going to need to get into business are already in place in terms of uh, beginning and purchasing and starting to operate a franchise. Now, there will be a fee when it comes to purchase that franchise, right? The franchise owner wants to take a fee, usually an upfront fee, and then possibly some royalties based off sales, basically to be compensated for the idea and all the hard work that they put in to get that idea to market and prove that it's been successful. There are franchises all over the place. For example, most of the restaurants out there these days are all franchises. One thing that's coming to mind right now is like the UPS store. So those are franchises. I can remember back in the day, my father was looking into buying a few, I would think it was maybe 2 or 3 separate locations that were bundled together as a franchise. And so basically, you're buying the name, you're buying the processes, you're buying the systems, and then it's up for you to go into and operate that business. But it does take away a little bit of the headache as far as the creation process at the very beginning for you to get successful or be successful in that business. And then let's take it another step a little bit lower than that. So this would be probably the most simple. And this is where a lot of the businesses I've started have been kind of in this level. I've never purchased a franchise. I'm very familiar with franchises. As I mentioned, my father was in the process of buying them. I have a friend that actually is in the operations right now of franchising her business. So that's been exciting to watch her in that journey. But so I'm familiar with them, but I've never done that. I don't know exactly the outcome would be for the franchise. But one thing that I've done is found systems, found processes that I could then tie other parts to basically find consumers, find people to sell our products and services with. So the biggest success that I've had was building out my Amazon e-commerce business. And the reason why that was so simple, or I had some success, is because I was able to take what Jeff Bezos created, the Amazon platform, and then I was able to find products that the consumer was out there looking for. And then all I had to do, and it took some effort. I don't want to make it sound like it was easy every day, but at the end of the day, the simplicity of it is definitely there. So I was able to find products that the consumer was looking for and basically just put it in front of them through the Amazon catalog platform. So think of Amazon as nothing more than it's basically just a shop. I mean, people are going to Amazon to buy things, which is exactly where you want to try to put your products if you want to be successful. So that was one area that I was able to use somebody else's processes, somebody else's systems, and learn some skills, some basic business skills to then profit. And yeah, you had to partner with Amazon, right? Amazon's going to take some fees, but that's part of it, right? I don't have to be the one delivering the boxes to the consumer. I don't have to be the one advertising or running the website. I don't have to do all of those things that the original owner still does, or even that the franchise owner still does. And that's why it's a little bit of a layer down. So then another opportunity that I did when I originally left the W-2 world is I jumped into driving for Uber and Lyft. So the idea is I treated it just like a business. I went out and I purchased a used car. It was a Prius. It was obviously economical on gas. It was a very nice car. I loved that little car, but I treated it like a business. So I was able to take deductions. I was tracking mileage. But what the point is that I was able to trade my service of my car using the Lyft and Uber platform, which made it super simple. All I had to do is get registered, register my car, get the insurance, the normal basic things. And once you do that, you're in business. You're literally in business. And if you treat it like a business, you get all the benefits of somebody that is operating this huge organization. It's the idea of starting to think of your life or start doing your activities in life, treating it like a business. And that's been the biggest success for me moving forward. So then another type of business that my wife and I have started. And we're actually in the process of getting started again in this type of business, is network marketing. So network marketing has a stigma out there of being potentially a negative thing. And what I will tell you is that the best part about the network marketing industry is that it's proven. It's been around for many years. These companies produce great products. The people within those organizations are typically fantastic people. And the barrier to entry to get started in business for yourself, you can treat it as soon as you get started and start treating it like a business. You start, once again, getting some of the benefits that comes from being a business owner. And as I mentioned, the barrier to entry is very low. All you have to do is bring your hard work, your dedication, some discipline, some coachability, and the sky's the limit. My wife and I have been involved in a handful of these types of businesses over the years, and some of them have been fantastic. Some of them have just been okay. It just kind of depends on your leadership, right? So that's the key, is to test out some of them to see if what resonates with you, because some of them will and some of them won't. But the point is that the skills that you'll learn, the ability to communicate, the ability to create sales, the ability to help people, right? If that's your mission, is to help people, then network marketing might be the outcome that you're looking for as well. And as I mentioned, my wife and I, we are actually just getting started into another opportunity that was presented to us, and we dug into it. We kind of know what to listen for, what to look for, and all the boxes were checked for this opportunity, and we've decided to jump in and see what we can do. Now, I can't tell you what the outcome will be because I have no idea at this point, but I do know that from my past and from the experiences with the folks that I've been dealing with, the potential is the limit, right? I mean, there is no limit, I should say. And it's really to be determined on what my wife and I bring to the table and try to provide as much value to the marketplace as we possibly can, and then keep going. That's the whole idea. So hopefully that helps you today. So the idea is to try to think about what type of a business is it that you're looking for. Start, it can be a side hustle. You can work part-time on your business while you're working still full-time at your job, right? So it's working full-time at your job, but working part-time on creating a fortune, right? That's the idea. The best part, though, is that once you cross over into building these businesses, you start to unlock benefits that you can't gain when you're a W-2 employee. And we can have a discussion about that in the future. I'm not a tax advisor. I'm not any of those things, but I can just speak from experiences that I've had in the past. There's plenty of content in the world, whether it's in the podcasting or YouTube, that can and you can dive into and try to find a little bit more about that. But what I can tell you is that it's totally ready and available for you to take advantage of if you break through the idea that business has to be hard, because it absolutely does not. So go out there today. Think about, how can you get into business for yourself? Do you want to make it simple, or do you want to be more complex? Or you want to be somewhere in the middle? Maybe a franchise is something that intrigues you. The idea, though, is that you take the time and you get educated on what the different types are. And once you get educated, when the opportunity presents itself, you'll be 100% ready to jump on board. And this, as I mentioned before, the sky will be the limit because of the success that you are about ready to have based on the prep work and the education that you've done up to that point. So go out there, have a fantastic day today, get yourself educated, keep reading the books, get in the rooms, watch the YouTube videos, but take action, okay? That's the next step. You've got to make sure you're taking massive action and get results. Some of them may be negative, and that's fine, right? Negative results aren't bad. They are just feedback. It's just feedback to tell you what you need to do different the next time, which is absolutely fine as well. So go out there, take action, get some feedback, pivot as necessary, and go out there and build the life of your dreams. And it's all possible when you have faith in yourself and you keep taking action. So have a fantastic day. I look forward to connecting with you again very soon. And until the next episode, bye now. Thank you for joining me on the Rich Mind Podcast. I hope you found a ton of value in this episode. If so, I'd really appreciate a 5-star review. And you can also share it with your family and friends. And as my mentor Jim Roden shared with me, In order to have more, you must first become more. And in order to become more, you must work harder on yourself than you do on your job. So go out there today and work harder on yourself to become more and build the life of your dreams. Until next time, my friends.